Hello everybody, welcome to the first edition of the Core 4 for your Draftkings Daily Fantasy Baseball lineups. Basically, how this is going to work is I'm just going to pick 4 players who fit to the core of your ideal cash game lineups. And so I'm going to start with who I believe is going to be the chalk pitcher of the day. I don't think it's really my belief, I think it's the belief of everybody in the industry, and that is Mr. Corey Kluber of the Cleveland Indians going up against the Tampa Bay Rays. Please do not be fooled by what DraftKings is currently showing. Max Scherzer is going to start Game 2 of the doubleheader tomorrow. So you take Scherzer out of the equation, you look at the rest of these options, and Kluber is head and shoulders above the rest of the field. Take a look at the guy's numbers on the season. The ratios are insane. 36% K rate, minuscule walk rate. And then take a look at how the Rays do against right-handers this year. Filtered by the split, second highest K rate in the league. Yeah, when they make contact for power, but I'm not terribly concerned. I think that, maybe one leaves the yard, but Kluber should be in for a monster game. So I'm going to go ahead and lock Kluber in as my SP1. Over at first base, and by the way, I failed to mention this at the start of the video, the way the core 4 is going to work is you're going to get one starting pitcher, one corner infielder, one middle infielder, and one outfielder. So those will be the 4 players, the 4 positions that you'll see in these videos. So player number 2 in my core 4 is going to be Joey Votto. And Joey Votto has just been a cash game machine. I mean, take a look at the points, in the game log: 13, 22, 14, 5. Can I go further? I can. 25, 20, 18, 12. I mean, the guy has just been a monster. The guy is a legitimate MVP candidate. And he's going up against Matt Garza. And if you take a look at what Matt Garza has done, hold on, technical difficulties. First video. So here's Votto against right-handed pitching this season. 330 average, 22 dingers. You know, 285 ISO. The plate discipline is outstanding. You go over to Matt Garza, and against left-handed bats this year, a 346 WOBA. 1.44 home runs per 9. It's an ideal matchup, and there's some BVP there too if you're one of those batter versus pitcher truthers. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Joey Votto. I know he's expensive. He's expensive by a large margin, but I think he's worth it. Go ahead and lock in Joey Votto as your first baseman. At the corner infield, at the middle infield spot, I'm gonna land on Mr. Asdrubal Cabrera, and you can play Cabrera at second base or shortstop. The way that my lineup construction is looking so far, I'm plugging him in at short. Cabrera, missed a little bit of time, came back. He's starting to rack up some hits. He got another hit today. Hit in 3 straight games, so the form's looking pretty good. It's a cheap price tag, $3,400 in the bandbox field in Philadelphia, going up against Zach Eflin. Pull up Asdrubal's player page. So if you look at Asdrubal on the year against righties, he hasn't been as good against righties as he has against lefties. Only a 237 average, but scroll down a little bit and take a look at those advanced metrics. Healthy walk rate, very low strikeout rate, and batting average in balls in play is getting pretty unlucky. 258 is a low BABIP to have, and that's backed up by a very solid 37.1% hard contact rate against righties. So he's getting a little bit unlucky there, and if he's getting unlucky against righties, take a look at Zach Eflin, who, Asdrubal's a switcher, so he's going to be batting from the right-hand side of the plate, so he'll be hitting as a left-handed batter. Against lefties this season, not striking anybody out, allowing a ton of home runs. That is a massive number, 2.43 home runs per 9. That is absurd. And the BABIP, if you say league average is around 300, that's not unlucky. That's legit. The guy just has not a ton of skill. I'm not trying to badmouth Eflin, but for daily fantasy sports purposes, he's a guy you can pick on. In Philadelphia being that small ballpark, he's definitely a guy you can pick on. So I'm locking in Asdrubal Cabrera as my shortstop. That's 3 of our core 4. And for my 4th and final player, my outfield pick, and the last player in our core 4, we're going to spend down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and find a value play here. And that's Mr. Adam Lind. DraftKings is currently showing Samardzija as a starter. That's not true. Samardzija started tonight, or last night if you want to get all technical on me. The pitcher here is going to be Stratton, Chris Stratton, I believe. And I'll pull up his player page. And the guy doesn't have a ton of major league experience. He's made 2 starts this year, so this will be his 3rd major league start. He's had a few other relief appearances, but the numbers so far aren't that good. Wasn't missing bats last year. Isn't missing bats this year. Wasn't locating his pitches last year. Isn't locating his pitches this year. And in 79.1 innings this year in AAA, 5.11 ERA, home runs allowed over 1 over the course of 9 innings. So this is a contact pitcher who seems to have some home run tendencies to give him up. And Adam Lind has been solid against righties his entire career, and this year's been no different. Hitting .306, 9 home runs in 176 plate appearances. So, Adam Lind I think is going to be a cheap value play. He should crack the lineup. Harper looks like he suffered a pretty devastating injury tonight. Very unfortunate, but they've been flexing him at first on occasion, also throwing him in the outfield. I think this opens up a lot more playing time to Adam Lind due to this injury. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in Adam Lind as my outfielder in the core 4. So there you have it. Corey Kluber, Joey Votto, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Adam Lind will make up my core 4. Again, this is for my my ideal cash game lineup. In tournaments certainly you could pivot off of these guys, but I think for cash games these 4 are a really solid building block. Still leaves you with $4,100 per player. That's that's a solid mark with your core 4. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy this first edition. I hope to improve on the quality of these videos going forward, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.